Well, congrats on the win. Why don't you start us off with your thoughts on today's match?
Yeah, obviously we're coming off of a really hard week. We've been on the road for, God, I can't even keep track anymore. I think this is like the 11th day or something. So, that's been difficult. And then obviously coming off of a loss, a really uncharacteristic loss against Orlando. So yeah, we're coming into into today with a lot of emotion and, obviously want to get the result. I think the game had a lot of ebbs and flows. But at the end of the day, we got 3 points. It wasn't always pretty. There were moments that were awesome. There were moments that weren't up to our standard, but I think we all know that. And, we're proud of each other for gritting it out and finding a way. But we also have some keys from this game that we need to improve on just going forward. But overall, we're just proud of the group for 3 points.
All right, we will open it up to questions. Ryan Clark, go ahead.
Just wanted to get your thoughts on, the team's defensive shape in the last several games. Obviously, the games have been a little more open than I think this team is used to in the last couple of years, and I'm wondering what potentially tactical adjustments might be needed to prevent, those kind of track meet games like this game maybe Orlando was.
Yeah, I think like we just naturally play in a league that's super transitional, and we're never going to sacrifice what we do in our attack to cater to that or to like play on the back foot because we need to have like a certain amount of countermeasures. I think that word is really key though for us. Like when we do attack, how do the back line and myself, I would say for the most part, but really every position, just keep and be in the best position we can if they were to break out and counter us. I think it's just an awareness of knowing that these teams have really fast players in behind, that they're direct, that it's not going to be maybe pretty soccer like we play where we connect and combine and all of it. It's going to be a ball over the top. Even like you saw today from Alyssa over the top for that PK chance. So it's a key for us. I don't think it's tactical adjustments. I think it's just really honing in on what we can do each individually to be in the best position in preventing other teams' counterattacks and just really being diligent in our countermeasures. But we're never, like I said, going to sacrifice the way we attack out of like a fear of what how a team can counter. We naturally play with the big shape, so that obviously leaves big spaces in behind. But yeah, I think it's really big for us to not allow that to like instill a fear or like like an unwillingness to attack. We obviously want to keep those things, but I think we just do need to be aware that this league is so transitional. And you're right, Ryan, like it can be a track meet, but I think the more we're diligent in our countermeasures, we're gonna deal with that less and less.
For sure. And, one more game now before World Cup players leave. How important is this one coming up against the Spirit to get 3 points and be in a stronger position when the NWSL table is so jam-packed now?
Yeah, I mean, every single one of our next games is the most important game of our season. And, of course, Washington's a great team. We know that we're finally back at home, which will be amazing. But we go into every game treating it like it is a make or break game for us, because at the end of the day, like it is, like you said, the top of the table is so jam-packed. And so every single win or loss, like it matters. We took that loss against Orlando hard. And of course we didn't play up to our standard. But any game can be a make or break game. And so we need all the points we can get as soon as we can get them. Obviously, we're about at the halfway mark, but we're not, going into any game thinking it's going to be a breeze or like these points don't matter. We cherish these 3 points. And so even for today, where there were some parts of it, especially there at the end, that weren't up to our standard either, but we got the job done. And that is the biggest takeaway for us. But yeah, to answer your question, we're obviously super excited about Washington being back at home. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a great game. But all eyes are on that now. And yeah, every next game is the most important game for us.
And for you, a near scoring opportunity. And then this one, obviously the Post had other ideas in that situation. What was the feeling when it came off your foot? Did you feel like that was a good one?
Like, really? Like I don't get a ton of those opportunities where, it's just like rolling at me at the perfect pace and I can just smack it. And, the accuracy was there, the power, like the placement was there, all of it. I'm like, all right, well, I guess it's not my day. But yeah, I mean, you just have to have a short-term memory. And of course that was a little bit frustrating, but I think my biggest focus is just doing it, whatever I can to help the team. Obviously that would have been nice, but Soph and Hina and Sinky, speak of the devil, got it done for us. And yeah, that's all that matters. I don't need to score goals when they do it.
Good score.
Thank-
I know, I'm trying really hard.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, thanks, Sam. Oh, sorry, we have one last question from Fook. Sorry, Fook, we just have time for one more before we have to get Sync in here.
Thanks, Jill. Appreciate it. Hi, Sam. Can you talk to us about just the evolution of you playing the 6 in year 2, just your comfort level? And I know you mentioned how it's similar to being a quarterback out there, but just kind of your comfort level and just how you've been so much more comfortable this year in year 2.
Yeah, I think I'm a type of just person and player that always wants to grow and get better. And, last year, obviously coming in as a new player, like it's a whirlwind and it's also overwhelming. And I think this year I'm settling down more and I'm trying new things and I'm, trying to be more creative and grow defensively. And so I think I really just view every game as an opportunity to do that and to, trust what I bring and to, try to keep this team connected, especially on the ball as much as I can. But yeah, it's really exciting for me. I think I learned so much from last year, and I'm still learning from every game that we play. I feel like I take something away from every game that I can just continue to grow with and continue to improve on. And so, yeah, I think that feels really exciting for me. I'm definitely a growth mindset type of person. So I just want to continue to be my best every game for this team.
All right, thanks for the time, Sam, and safe travels home. Thanks for joining us and congrats on the goal and the win. That was your 17th against Chicago. That's like 4 more than any other player has against any other team in league history. Can you just talk a little bit about today's game and your experience against this team and maybe what fires you up against them the most?
No, I mean, I feel like first of all, I feel like it's a team we've played a lot, like playoffs, things like that. In years past, we've always seemed to come up against them. And we've always, we've been pretty successful against them. And I have no idea why I've scored more against them than other teams. I honestly, no clue. Today, not the prettiest game. As a team, I think we have a lot to learn, up 3-1, the game should be over. But yeah, we let them get back in and they were actually unlucky not to, to get a draw. But massive 3 points for us after losing to Orlando and the end of a long road trip. I think we're all eager to get home.
All right, we'll open it up to questions. Ryan, do you want to start us off?
Sure. Hey, Sink. This match at times had the look of like a track meet, back and forth in that way. I mean, how, I guess, should or can the team prevent games from getting into those type of situations? Obviously, Orlando had its moments like that as well. What are you seeing that maybe can prevent that?
Yeah, I think this league is, first of all, it's just known as being a transition league. We've got just some incredible athletes playing this game, and every team has very talented players. But I think as Thorns, we pride ourselves on being able to keep the ball, build attacks. Obviously, yes, be able to attack on transition. I think just at times we've given the ball away unnecessarily. And it's when we're in like a big shape that we do that, and it leaves our back line and Sam pretty exposed, just with the way we play with 2 high midfielders. And just, we just go take care of the ball and then manage defensive transition, I think, a little better.
And obviously, World Cup players departing relatively soon. Last game for a lot of them being on Friday against Washington. That's a big one for NWSL purposes. But what's the feeling around the team among the players who are headed to the World Cup? knowing how big this moment is for the sport and just for so many of these individuals on this Thorns team who, whichever country they play for, this is an opportunity for them to shine.
Yeah, I mean, every World Cup that comes, it just gets bigger and bigger. And, as a Thorns organization, I mean, I'm excited to see how all our players do. I mean, obviously playing for Canada, I'll be cheering for us and hoping we do well, but obviously with teammates spread out around the world, just, yeah, excited to see some of these players perform on the world's biggest stage. But as a team, yeah, we're just trying to get as many points as we can before, we leave. But that being said, it's a huge opportunity for a lot of players on our team that don't get the minutes that they'd want, and I think they deserve. And we just have a very deep team, a very talented team. So I'm excited to see how the team continues to perform when we're all gone. We have all the faith and trust in every single player in our team, and I think we've shown that in previous years, whether it's Olympics, previous World Cups. The international players leave and our team actually extends the lead in the league standings, for instance. So obviously, excited to see how players do in the World Cup, but full faith with all the Thorns that'll be back home.
Thank you, Singh.
Luke, do you have any questions? Go ahead.
Hi, Sink. Can you just talk to us about just the grueling road trip? Obviously, in Orlando, the conditions were pretty tough, to say the least. And then obviously just playing 3 straight road games.
Yeah, I mean, it's been it's been a journey for us. The Orlando game, I mean, obviously the conditions weren't ideal, but we need to figure out a way to perform in those conditions. I mean, it's part of the league where you go places in the summer, it's hot, and we need to be able to adapt and perform. That being said, 3 road games in a row, going to some very difficult places to play, coming home with 6 points. It's not bad. We obviously would have liked to have seen 9, but we'll take the 6 home and be happy. And just can't wait to get home and play in front of our fans again.
All right, we will wrap it there. Thank you for your time and safe travels.
Thanks.
Congrats on the win. 3 games on the road. You picked up 6 out of 9 points. Just a tough schedule, and you guys closed it out strong. Can you just talk a little bit about today's performance?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, 3 points, huge. I mean, every point, as you can see in this league right now, is very valuable. So a bit more challenging than that it probably should have been. Obviously leading by twice with a 2-goal stretch. Lost a bit of control of the game, but we dug in and got control of the game at the end. But simple part, 3 goals on the road, 3 points. Have to be happy to be coming home with that.
All right, we will open it up to questions and start off with Ryan Clark.
Hey, Mike. This game and the Orlando game, obviously, for some stretches was pretty open, to say the least. Back and forth, track meet type match. I mean, what would be your perspective on trying to keep that from letting the game get away from the team, maybe allowing goals like the ones tonight or the ones that happened in Orlando and still keeping control despite the pace?
I mean, I think it's playing a bit more from structure. I think as soon as they were playing for transition, I would say, towards the end. As long as we play in transition moments, the game's going to be stretched. When we play from more structure and we're not a big team front to back, I feel like we have control. So it's how we play from a tighter shape, I would say, in possession, instead of just making it like a basketball game where it's one end to the other. So it's taking this thing out of the game, having a bit more control, and like I say, just playing from more structure versus two separate lines with 40 yards between each other.
And, 3 straight games for Sophia Smith scoring a goal now after a few games where she wasn't able to. I'm wondering your thoughts on her form as she now heads into this World Cup.
Yeah, listen, I think Soph's been probably getting her rewards the last 3 games. She's been doing the work though in between. She's been contributing. I think she showed today the problems she can cause. Obviously, she's come off the front, getting it and turned, shooting from range. She's had a couple of chances where she's getting in behind and stretching back lines and the defenders. So, yeah, I think just a variety in terms of how she's attacked. She's been in more central areas of day, where I think it's probably getting her in more threatening positions versus having to play wider to get on the ball. But yeah, like I say, I think she's just getting a reward for some of the work that she has been doing in that dry spell for her.
And, World Cup obviously coming up, a lot of players going to be departing for the team after this upcoming match on Friday. Your thoughts on that match in particular to the importance of securing 3 points given what's about to happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's heightened, but I think right now, as you're seeing in the league, every game's really important. I think every point that we can get, every 3 points is massive. So I think we're not going to try and look too far ahead. We'll take the game on Friday, and then obviously we've got to look ahead to what that looks. But we've got a 3-game stretch coming up with Spirit, Rain, and KC. So yeah, it's one game at a time. And like I say, Ryan, I think there's people waiting for opportunities. Also, we've got some big players missing, but we do have a healthy roster, which we'll have to lean on, and there'll be people eager to step in and play a bigger role, I think.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks.
Luke, go ahead.
Hey, Mike, congrats on the 3 points. Could you talk to us a little bit about Sam Coffey performance today? As it seems like she had the box-to-box control of the game.
Yeah, listen, Sam had to fight hard to get on the ball. I think you've seen the last 2 games, teams playing a 4-4-2 block, just trying to deny Sam getting on the ball. So we've done a bit of work through the week after Orlando to work on some rotations to get Sam or the other midfielders on the ball a bit more. But she kept, if it's not her getting on the ball, she was creating space for others. And then, yeah, I think you saw how dynamic she was when she did receive the ball and face forward, and then really started to progress the attack for when I thought she was really responsible in terms of defending to keep her balanced the best she could.
All right, I think we will wrap it there. Thank you for your time, Coach, and safe travels